forest. He'll pass the turn back. Jessup will take a draw. Den Protector is what he's found. He's got a forest. Now we'll play a copy of Satyr Wayfinder. So we'll take a look at the top 4 cards here. 1's a Death Mist Raptor, 2 is a Death Mist Raptor, 3 is a Plains, and 4 is a Forest. So
that's how you build a deck right there.
that is good deck building.
A land for the Satyr Wayfinder, 2 Death Mist Raptors in the graveyard.
Yeah. Plains is what Jessup will take. He'll pass the turn back over to the boss.
This is just so bizarre to see Tom playing a deck like this.
I don't like it. I don't like it. He's casting Sylvan Caryatid. I don't like
what is that all about?
What's next, Tom? A Siege Rhino? I don't like it.
Tom's got to block here. He's bluffed in so many points of damage himself. He's got to block.
It's really a point of principle.
Yes. You've done this to, yeah, Tom. You've done this to so many people over the last year or so.
Good block.
Great block.
Good block. There's a morph and a fasting of the turn.
It's not so much that the point of damage matters, it's the principle of it.
Well, Tom has been doing that to people
exactly
so much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You cannot let them get their points back against you.
A forest, a morph. It's Morph Mania here. They could be Den Protectors, they could be Death Mist Raptors. You know, Tom likes to have a little bit of flair to his game, so morphs are right in his ballpark.
Looking here, nothing fancy. Rattleclaw, Mystic, Den Protector, Death Mist Raptor. The usual suspects.
Danny's going to unmorph Den Protector. There's really nothing fancy about that, but it is really, really good. The Den Protector is going to get to come across in the red zone here. Can't be blocked, given the text on the card. Got to get back a forest, which allows them to play land for the turn. And, you know, there are now 2 Death Mist Raptors on the battlefield.
This is how you draw it up in the huddle right here.
Yeah, this is a great start here for Danny. He'll scry the top card to the bottom with Temple of Malady, and he'll pass the turn back over to the boss, so we'll take a draw step. Elvish Mystic is what he's found. It's a little late to the party. See if he can work his way through these Raptors.
Tom probably thinks this is so stupid. If I had a Wild Slash, I would just kill this morph. I would have been attacking him with a Foundry Street Denizen by now.
I'm a little surprised that we have not seen Tom really play much of Tarka Red.
That's true. I think he prefers the heroic strategy.
That's fair. Maya Coast was the land for Tom.
That does give him a lot of room to do his stuff. That heroic deck allows a lot of bluffing, a lot of opportunities to trap your opponent. It's Tom Ross's game.
So I'm not going to do any blocking here. He'll take 9 points of damage. Looks like he's already going to work his way down to 8. It's a forest. What's next here for Jessup? If anything, he does have a Siege Rhino in hand. It's like he's going to cast that. Will that resolve? It does not appear that will be the case. Disdainful Stroke will take care of that. Now Den Protector's going to unmorph. And Tom will get back his Disdainful Stroke. Go back the boss's way. He'll take a draw. Picked up a copy of Death Mist Raptor. That's helpful.
Danny's deck plays this kind of game a lot better, though. Fills up his graveyard with spells in a much easier way than Tom's does. Has more ways to mill himself over to find Death Mist Raptors.
The question you have to ask yourself is, are the blue cards better or worse than the black cards?
Well, you know, it's not quite that simple because you get to play a different style of deck. Elvish Mystic gets to be in Tom's deck.
That's true.
And Abzan can't touch that card for a variety of reasons.
Here is Death Mist Raptor. Tom will pass the turn back. He's going to have to get a little bit defensive here. Jessup will draw a card. Looks like he found a copy of Windswept Heath. He's ready to come into the red zone yet again. Some blocking will take place here. Protector on Protector, Raptor on Raptor. Remember, Ross does have a copy of Disdainful Stroke in hand. Got that back from his Den Protector, unmegamorphing. Jessup knows about that.
And I think that Danny has another copy of Den Protector in his hand, which means he has a very easy workaround to all of this, which is simply put another Den Protector down, pass the turn, and force Tom to react.
It's going to be pretty tough, too, because that Den Protector can get back Den Protector and keep this going for as long as he'd like to. And if Danny wants to kind of shift gears, get back Old Siege Rhino.
Yep. Probably not happening just now because of the Disdainful Stroke, but Danny's got a whole lot of control over how he plays this game. And Tom's in this spot where if he's only playing 3 or 4 mana worth of stuff, then he probably just loses to Death Mist Raptor. And if he plays something big, then Danny has the opportunity to get back Siege Rhino, and that probably closes out the game.
Den Protector going to be face down here for the boss now. We'll go back Jessup's way. He'll take a draw. It's a Windswept Heath yet again. Danny still with Elspeth in hand. Not a great spot to deploy that just yet, though.
Curious for Danny not to unmorph there. That seemed like a pretty good opportunity to get back the Den Protector. Just to apply more pressure. I just want to get Death Misraptor back and start to close out this game.
Sure. I suppose the question you ask is, closing out the game is obviously nice, but the longer we go, maybe the better it is for Danny.
Well, I think that he's got such a huge edge right now. He's probably favored in a late game too, but I don't feel like there's any reason to risk it.
Den Protector will unmorph now. Death Misraptor's coming back. He'll return Den Protector. Here come the beatdowns.
I feel like the writing was on the wall that this was how it's going to play out anyway. Tom's going to have to do the same thing. There's going to be some blocks, and feels like Danny's just behind an attack with a Death Misraptor.
Sure. Now you get this exact same exchange.
Yeah, this would have happened anyway, except Tom's going to 2 or he's chump blocking.
Here comes Windswept Heath. Danny will start by sacrificing 1. Curious if he wants to sacrifice them both or not.
I think he's just down to only 1 more land in his deck that he can fetch with the Windswept Heath.
That's not good. Yeah, 2 forests, 2 plains.
Yeah, so I'm breaking the other one too.
Well, he can't break the other one. 2 forests, 2 plains.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
I did not see that the other force is already in play. Never mind. That makes this a lot more complicated.
This is a little awkward, yeah. We rarely, if ever, see this actually matter.
Someone run out of lands to fetch. It's really rare.
Yeah. So now he's got to play just a Death Misraptor face up past the turn back instead of doing the thing with Den Protector again.
Right.
Dragonlord Ojutai the draw. I don't think Tom can go that route right now, though.
Nope, he's got to try to win the Den Protector Death Misraptor game. From there, he can start thinking about things like Dragonlord Ojutai. But if he can keep his head above water on the board with just Den Protector and Death Misraptor and leave up Disdainful Stroke, that's a position that allows him to block for a while.
See what's next here for the boss. Looks like it's going to be a Courser of Crewfix. Take a look at the top card. It's a Windswept Heath. He'll take that, gain a life, go up to 6. We'll see the next card here. Police Main Line. This is weird to watch Tom with a Courser in play now.
Yeah.
He'll get a basic forest. We've seen Tom beat up on people casting Courser of Crewfix for the better part of a year.
People casting Courser on turn 3 and not on tapping.
Yeah. Might be a morph. There we go. It'll be Den Protector.
Well, this was the risk that Tom took with his line of play by casting Courser Crewfix. If Danny casts something big, Tom has to decide between Disdainful Stroke or unmorphing his copy of Den Protector.
It's like a draw like a Siege Rhino there for Danny, for example. Here come the Raptors.
This attack is for lethal. And if Tom chump blocks with one of his mana creatures, well, now the shields are down for Disdainful Stroke again.
He'll unmorph. Den Protector is going to return something, of course. It'll get back a Den Protector. We'll get some blocks there. Players will exchange resources.
But this is not bad news for Danny. And now he gets an opportunity to play something big if he wants it.
Yeah, the Elspeth window's open. Seems like a pretty good place to be.
And then the next turn, if Tom has the mana available to cast Disdainful Stroke, well, then you're back to Den Protector and getting back your Death Misraptors and playing underneath it.
Yeah, I really like taking the opportunity this turn to resolve Elspeth.
Me too.
Siege Rhino is obviously a great card, but I like going the Elspeth route. I don't love going the Morph route here because there's nothing Tom can stop. There's no way for Tom to stop you from going the Morph route. But he has the ability to stop you from going the Siege Rhino or Elspeth route. So I want to take the opportunity when the shields are down to get a big spell into play.
You got to be, if you're in Danny's spot, I think you have to be pretty confident that this is going to allow you to untap and kill Tom to take this route. And I don't feel like that's the case because Tom has the opportunity to play his own Den Protector, get back a Den Protector. He can keep this Death Misraptor, block your Death Misraptor stuff going for a pretty long time.
Yeah.
That felt like a window where Danny needed to resolve Elspeth to me. Because Disdainful Stroke is going to be pretty awkward for him to play around for the remainder of the game. And that was the big cost that Tom was willing to pay by casting Courser last turn. He's saying, I need to get Courser in play. I just need another blocker. I need to develop my mana a little bit. And as such, I'm probably going to have to put the shields down on Disdainful Stroke for one turn and hope that I can beat the leftovers. And Danny did not punish him for it.
Well, Den Protector's unmorphing. Death Misraptor's coming back. Windswept Heath coming back. Boss will gain a life, given that the Courser's on the battlefield. Now it's Fleece main line. Den Protector's going to unmorph, of course. Some cards will be coming back with it. I think it might be 3 Death Misraptors, maybe only 2. Oh, there's a third one. And going to return Den Protector. Oddly enough, as much as we have covered these matches, we haven't really ever seen this happen. You think it would happen more frequently.
Yes, it's true. Well, usually someone, part of the problem here is just the Disdainful Stroke in Tom's hand. Tom's mana is jammed up a little bit because he wants to leave that up. And Danny can't just deploy one of his big cards to break the game open because it just gets countered.
Here come the attackers. 3 Raptors and that 3/2 Den Protector. Jessup with a Elspeth, a Siege Rhino, another copy of Den Protector in hand. Now the boss has to decide how to block. He'll start by sacrificing Windswept Heath. He'll stay at the same life total. Courser on the battlefield after all. Get a basic forest. Island on top of the deck now. Here are your blockers. So he wants to try to get these Raptors off the battlefield. What do we have here? Valor stance to save the Fleece main line. And Jessup will take a look at his hand. Doesn't appear he has much of a response at this point, so Fleece main lion would win in combat over Death Misraptor. And the other 2 Death Misraptors would die, and Tom would lose his Death Misraptor and Den Protector.
And this is sort of a way for Tom to get an edge on the board, even though he's behind in the Death Misraptor race right now, is to go monsters with Fleece main lion. That permanently checks an attacker.
And this is why I really like going the Elspeth route. But it appears Danny's going to keep rocking and rolling, maybe with the Den Protector plan, and he will. And it looks like he's going to maybe pass the turn back. Yep. So to Tom we go. Islands to draw, Flooded Strand on top of the deck.
And Tom is also out of lands to fetch. Drew the island, now Flooded Strand on top. He's got 2 planes and an island in the deck.
What kind of weird game are we playing here?
The first time we've really seen Death Misraptors just run into each other over and over again via Den Protector. The first time we've seen, that I can recall in a long time, one player running out of lands to fetch for. Now both players have run out of lands to fetch for, and it's come up. They both have a Windswept Heath and a Flood Strand they can't use.
It's funny to think if either player knows that. You know, you assume that, okay, you have a Windswept Heath in play, that's a land that will eventually tap for mana. The same thing can be said with the Flooded Strand on top of the deck. Dragonlord Ochitai is here. Little unmorph. Little counter there. Death Misraptor's here. Siege Rhino back to the grip. Time for Jessup to draw a card. Now keep in mind, because Danny has returned Siege Rhino now, his ability to loop Den Protector, I believe, is over.
But the upshot is that he now has 2 Siege Rhinos in hand that he can cast.
Yes.
So all he needs to do is connect with one of them, one of the 3 power creatures coming across right here, and force Tom to tap out in combat. That seems likely to happen. And then the Siege Rhinos can get it done.
Correct. 5 creatures coming across. They're all 3 power. 3 Deathmist Raptors, 2 Den Protectors.
He needs to connect with one creature or get Tom to tap out. It seems like Tom is going to tap out here to go monstrous, and Danny can wrap up the game post-combat.
There are all the blockers. Tom will tap out. May Fleece, Main Lion, indestructible. Bunch of creatures going to trade in combat here. Danny will play a land. Now it's time for the Rhino Brigade. He'll play 2 of them. Wants to make sure he's got the right mana for both. There are the 2 Rhinos, and that's going to get the job done. Danny Jessup's going to win game 1 here over Tom Ross. Abzan Megamorph up a game over Bant Megamorph. Elspeth, unnecessary that game.
Took a little while for Danny to finally be able to convert it into a kill, but that Satyr Wayfinder broke open the game. That game was largely determined on turn 2 there. Danny milling over a couple of Deathmist Raptors, had a lot of Den Protectors to go along with it. Tom had his own interaction in the same space, but it just took a while for Tom to get it going, and all the damage he took trying to stabilize the board, it added up, and Siege Rhinos finished it off.
To the sideboards we'll go. We'll go with the boss and his Bant Megamorph deck.
2 copies of Elspeth Sun's Champion, a Jermoka's Command, 2 copies of Disdainful Stroke, 3 copies of Hornet Nest, a Glare of Heresy, 3 Mastery of the Unseen, 2 Plummet, 1 copy of Valorous Stance. I think you're going to see the Elspeth Sun's Champions coming in this matchup, very powerful against Abzan decks. I think the 2 copies of Disdainful Stroke will come in as well, giving Tom a full play set of that card. Past that, I think Glare of Heresy, Valorous Stance, and Mastery of the Unseen are all reasonable cards. May not necessarily come in, but reasonable candidates.
3 ultimate price, 2 Drown and Sorrow, 2 Erishan Cleric, 2 Wingmate Rock, a Duress, and then Hostilities, a Jermoka's Command, a Glare of Heresy, and a 2 Self-Inflicted Wound here for Danny Jessup.
Love the 2 copies of Self-Inflicted Wound in the matchup. I think the and Hostilities will come in along with the Duress. 3 copies of Ultimate Price, very powerful here as well.
We'll see, how these players do. Sideboard here for game number 2. The boss will be on the play, and the boss is the player we'll talk about first here. 31 years old, now lives in Roanoke, Virginia, but from Louisiana normally. A lot of career highlights, a lot of it done last year.
Yeah, 3 Invitational top 8s, 2 of them wins, including back-to-back wins in the Season 2 and Season 3 Invitationals of 2014. 4 Open Series top 8s with a win. A Pro Tour top 8 back in PT Honolulu 2009. 4 Grand Prix top 8s.
Used to parkour, can still do backflips. 5-time Louisiana State champion. And if you follow Tom on social media or Todd Anderson, I actually got to watch them play in a Mortal Kombat tournament that was hosted in Roanoke on Twitch.
Really?
Todd lost in the finals.
Good run.
Yeah. Apparently, one of the players there at the Roanoke area is really, really good. I think he beat Todd twice.
Okay, just there's some hustler down there?
Yeah, I think there's a hustler. Very pool-esque. You know, Todd is pretty good. I think Todd, it's like, I think the hierarchy is like that guy,
yep.
Todd, Tom, everyone else.
Okay.
I think that's where we're at right now in the Roanoke metagame.
How big was the tournament?
I didn't seem particularly large. Maybe like 16 people.
Okay.
Something like that. But yeah, I remember they tweeted about it, and I kind of watched, and yeah, it was interesting to watch. I mean, Mortal Kombat's a cool game, and Tom's pretty good at it, and so is Todd, too.
A lot of leg sweeps.
Indeed.
If I recall that game correctly.
Uppercuts as well, very powerful. Now, for Danny Jessup, I don't think you're going to find anything about Mortal Kombat, but we talked about his brother and Danny, too. Danny used to play 4 years of varsity lacrosse before actually, unfortunately, getting injured.
Yeah, same story. Lacrosse instead of baseball in this case. Big sports fan, New York area team, Yankees, Giants, Rangers, stock manager by day.
Worst fans in the world.
Who?
New York fans.
Oh, come on.
They're horrible.
Come on.
Yankees fans, really? Come on. I know you like the Giants, so I'll give you a pass there, but the Yankees fans are, no.
It's an institution.
It's unacceptable is what it is. That's what you're looking for.
It's an institution.
Yeah,
I'm not a Yankees fan, but I don't think their fans are particularly bad.
Of course, he has invitational top 8, 4 Open Series top 8s with 1 W. He's looking for another one here, or at least a very, very good finish from here. If he's able to do that, he can pass Ross Merriam this weekend.
Yeah, he's in a great position. I don't think there's any way Danny misses the Players' Championship. It would have to require a pretty dramatic free fall. If he just keeps on going at his current trajectory, he'll get there. Could be Season 3.
And actually, you're right. I take back what I said about Yankees fans. The worst fans in the world are from Philadelphia.
They're bad in a different way.
I'm sorry. I apologize. If I'm going to be mean, I have to do it appropriately.
Right, you might as well be accurate.
Yeah. The boss will be on the play here.
I try not to go on the anti-particular city rants because, you know, we go there. Cleveland's a little bit different because you're from there, and so I'm sort of taking a shot at you rather than, comes off as more playful, but people can take that stuff pretty seriously.
Bring it on, Philadelphia.
You want to say that to Philly fans? Bring it on. Okay. You're a funeral, dude.
It's me versus the entire city of Philadelphia. As long as I can still go to the Reading market, we'll be fine.
Yeah. If you want some D-cell batteries chucked at you at the next Open in Philly, we go back there this year. I mean, it's your funeral, dude.
I think I had that weekend off. A Temple of Plenty here from the boss. That's how he started the game. That's his second turn as well. Now he's got an Elvish Mystic, pass the turn back over to Jessup. Just a Temple of Malady so far for Danny. Now he'll play a Thoughtseize. He's getting an idea of what Tom's working with. 2 Death Mist Raptors, not going to take those. Den Protector, another Elvish Mystic, and really the only way you can poke a hole in this hand, I would argue, is the Master of the Unseen.
Well, you get to go after Den Protector here.
That's the other option, I think. It feels like Master of the Unseen's the most powerful card, but, you know, if you take Mastery, then Tom gets it back with Den Protector, so maybe you're forced into taking Den Protector.
It's you know, the analog that I have with Den Protector in Standard is Snapcaster Mage in Modern. Unless you're trying to accomplish something really specific, really short term, you're best served just taking that card out of the hand.
See what Danny does decide, because I don't think you can select Death Mist Raptor.
If you're no, Death Mist Raptor's off the table. It's got to be Den Protector or Master of the Unseen, and I would just take Den Protector.
Well, Den Protector is gone.
It's always good just to double check, but you've got to have something really specific in mind if you're taking anything other than Den Protector. And Obzon usually doesn't have anything specific in mind, or they're just trying to value out of the game. And Den Protector is the easiest way for Tom to win that sort of fight.
Another Temple here from the boss. See where that top card's going to go. Looks like it was a Windswept Heath that's going to stay on top. Now there's a Master of the Unseen, an Elvish Mystic, and pass the turn back. So a good start here for the boss. Jessup will draw a card.
Showing no fear for Drown Star or Bile-Blight, which I think are reasonable guesses here.
I think so too. Death Mist Raptor, pass the turn back. Might be settling in for a long one here.
Yep. And if Danny's plan was to settle in for a long one, then I really like taking Den Protector out of the hand with that Thoughtseize.
Tom will sacrifice the Windswept Heath. That was his draw for the turn. Forest or Plains on the way. Gonna go with a Forest. Couple Raptors, pass that turn back. Looks like Ross is empty-handed at this point, so now he gets to start using the Mastery.
Yep.
Jessup with just a land that enters the battlefield tapped there in Sands Up Citadel. No attack with his Raptor, so all he can do is pass the turn back. Didn't get a great look at Ross's draw step.
And it looks like Danny has brought in his copies of Wingmate Rock, which is a way for him to steal this game if Tom's plan is really slow. If Tom's trying to drag this game out, you know, Master of the Unseen and Death Mist Raptor and attack here and gain some value there, if Danny's able to just resolve a rated Wingmate Rock, Tom may not have a good answer.
Here's a Hero's Downfall. That'll take care of a Death Mist Raptor. I suppose the question is for how long?
Well, I think that Danny's plan here is just to buy himself a little bit of time to be able to attack this turn safely, raid a Wingmate Rock, and then Tom's game plan of Master of the Unseen maybe just be too slow.
Well, what's important is that you have a game plan.
Yep.
And he certainly has a game plan because there is Wingmate Rock. He's going to the skies. Keep in mind, these Wingmate Rocks are in the sideboard.
And part of the reason that he can afford to do this line of play is that Tom is without blue mana. I mean, he's empty-handed also, but if Tom had any sort of hand left over, this plan would be really risky in the face of Disdainful Stroke, but he knows the coast is clear.
And flying is a way for Ross to really run away with this one. Now Elvish Mystic is going to be unmorphed, and Master of the Unseen will trigger. And now Death Mist Raptor will come back. So we're in a bit of a racing situation here. These life totals are certainly going to fluctuate quite a bit.
Yeah, Tom's got a really good shot in this game as long as he keeps on using Master of the Unseen and getting to creatures he can unmorph. Then he's got a good shot. Gains a lot of life that way. But if he's just hitting over 2/2s, I think Danny can power through that.
See what's next here for the boss. He is at 21, Jessup at 15. Just one Raptor going to come in. A windswept Heath, passing the turn, still no blue mana here for Ross, but that was mana source number 8.
Yep.
So that's 2 Master of the Unseen activations. Jessup going to come into the red zone with Wingmate Rock and the token. Look at a trigger from Wingmate Rock, gain a little bit of life, and it appears as though 6 damage will occur. There's a Temple here from Jessup. Take a look at that top card, becomes the bottom card now. And now a Siege Rhino. So Jessup going to go up to 17. Ross going to go a little bit lower, down to 12. Now Ross will sacrifice that land. Go down to 11. I'm sure he wishes he could get blue, but he'll have to get a forest. I do wonder in this racing situation if it was appropriate for Tom to sacrifice that land. There is an Urborg on the battlefield. It's a minor thing, but every point could matter right now.
The thing is, the value of hitting creatures is so high. Yes, he takes a point of damage, but if that makes him fractionally more likely to hit a creature, and a creature's worth, you know, how much life are we talking, 7 or 8 right now?
Starting to become a lot.
I think it's a reasonable roll of the dice.
Okay. 2 manifest creatures out there, 2 Death Mist Raptors, 3 Elvish Mystics. Finding creatures is a big deal right now. Does make you wonder how big of a deal it is for Ross to find blue mana at this point, still without it for his Bant deck.
Really, I think he can win the game on the board right now, assuming that Master of the Unseen reveals creatures he can unmorph. He gains a lot of life. The problem is that if he misses, he's going to die pretty fast. Danny's got a good clock over there.
Here comes Death Mist Raptor. Jessup, no interest in blocking. He's down to 14. The boss will pass the turn back.
And that, to me, represents some degree of weakness. I feel like if Tom had a creature down there he could unmorph, we would have seen the second Death Mist Raptor come in.
Sure.
Because he just can't afford to attack in that spot. And he gets it back for free also.
Elspeth and a couple Rhinos in Jessup's hand right now. He'll start by attacking with Ringmate Rock and the token. And now it looks like it is time for Elspeth. Again, knows the coast is clear, no blue mana.
Yep.
Don't have to worry about Disdainful Stroke here. Elspeth's going to tick up. 3 soldiers on the way.
And this is not a card Tom is well equipped to handle right now because he's just attacking on the ground. And this is the card that can allow Danny to overpower Tom's board, even in the event that Tom is able to master it into creatures.
There's Manifest number 3. Here comes Manifest number 4. Again, it's unclear if any of those are creatures. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough because Ross is facing lethal next turn.
Yeah. And now it's not just an issue of facing lethal, it's facing lethal and also having to deal with Elspeth. Because even if Tom gains a lot of life, Danny getting an Elspeth emblem here with the board that he has, 2 more Siege Rhinos in hand, I don't think Tom's going to be able to gain enough life to power through that. That's too much.
Hurling Whirling Altars will be packing up shortly. If you would like to get any last-minute commissions, now would be the time to do so.
Well, it might be time to unmorph something. And it is. Carry added. There's blue mana.
Yep. Very important and a lot of life.
9 of it to be exact. So a good start there for Ross. There's 5 mana. Dragonlord Ochitai is going to be unmorphed. How about 9 more life?
Huge.
Yep.
Also a flying attacker to take care of Elspeth.
Mm-hmm.
Huge swing here for Tom.
You better believe that Elspeth's going to get knocked off the battlefield now. I'm sure he'd love to hit Jessup and take a look at a couple of cards, but I think he's got to contain Elspeth for right now. Also, that life total just went from 5 to 23. That's notable. Pass the turn back. Master of the Unseen can be very powerful at times. Jessup will draw a card. He's got a lot of work to do. Hero's Downfall to draw. Relatively timely. Can get the Ochitai off the board.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a long-term solution to the Mastery Unseen, but it at least takes care of the imminent threat.
Here comes Wingmate Rock and Friend. A little life gain trigger. The follow-up here for Jessup will be Hero's Downfall to take care of Dragon Lord Ojutai. And now we go back Ross's way. The boss at 17, Jessup at 18. But this board is cluttered, to say the least. It's unclear who's even ahead right now.
I think Tom's got a pretty big advantage. If Danny can find an answer next turn to Mastery, his leftovers might be able to stabilize this game. But Tom is just going to gain so much life and generate so much card advantage. And all Danny's doing at the end of the day right now is attacking for 6. Any unmorph undoes that entire turn of attacking.
So Tom in hand has 1 copy of a Johnny Steadfast. That combination with Dragon Lord Ojutai is deadly, but Hero's Downfall kind of messed that up. Here's Courser, Master of the Unseen on top. This could get ugly. You may be wondering, why does this get so bad? Well, Tom already's got 1 Mastery, but the second one means it gets to double the life that's gained.
I think that Tom may not even worry about taking that as a draw step because just grinding over 2/2s is more impressive.
Okay.
Maybe you're right. Maybe that's just so powerful right now that he keeps it.
It's a lot of life.
It is a lot of life.
There's a morph. I mean, we saw this when we covered Grand Prix Miami. When you kind of get this going, it's really tough. Now, that's actually a pretty big draw there from Jessup in Dromoka's command. It's a way to solve some of the problems that are taking place right now.
And I think that Danny cannot cast it right now. What he needs to do is hope that Tom decides to make the Mastery of Unseen a creature, and then he can take care of the other Mastery, and then he's good to go.
A little surprised there. It looks like a concession by Jessup. A little surprised by that?
I would at least have taken your turn there to attack, cast your Rhino, and say go. If Tom manifests the Mastery of Unseen on top of his deck, you got a shot.
Okay.
I guess Tom at that point, sorry, he has Courser in play, so we can simply sacrifice the Courser.
It depends on the lining of the card, because with Dromoka's command, you get to fight first, and then I believe the last word on the card is sacrifice an enchantment. So depending on the lining of the card, and we'll have to take a look at it, obviously, you actually get to win the fight of kill the Courser and then.
Yeah, assuming Dromoka's command is worded that way, then he would have a shot.
Because it goes by the text on it goes by the modes in the card in order.
I'm happy to concede there if Tom takes a draw step.
Sure.
Once he has the second Mastery, you can't catch up. He's gaining too much life, and time is of the essence here.
That's the thing I was going to bring up, and I'm glad you said it. Time is something that you actually have to take into account now. I think that might be part of the reason that Danny conceded the game, is because this game is going to drag on forever. I have no interest in a draw, and if I'm Danny, I'm thinking, I think it's kind of unlikely that I win this game.
I feel like if Tom messes up there and doesn't draw the Mastery, Danny's got a shot. I mean, he's attacking for 6 in the air. Tom can't really contest it. I don't think his odds of winning the game are great, but it's certainly above 0. But in any case, Danny deciding he doesn't want to reveal Dromoka's command and also wants to save some time here. Now we're going to game 3.
And then the second line of Dromoka's command, it says target player sacrifices an enchantment, and then fighting is after that.
So yeah, there's no way to work it.
Yep. So life is okay. Concession is probably appropriate, and we'll get ready here for game number 3 between Jessup and Ross in just a moment. See Tom taking a look at the sideboard here just a little bit, but Danny shuffles up really quickly. He's ready to go. Hoping that Tom is ready here in just a moment as well, because time is certainly of the essence. A draw in this situation, you oftentimes like to say, just about as good as a loss.
Well, it's a little bit different in this spot because both players are already locked for day 2. When you're looking at 7-2 for Grand Prix or 6-3 for the Opens, in terms of making the second day, a loss and a draw are the same thing, but these players are already locked in for day 2. So at that point, it just becomes, well, does this do too much damage to my tiebreakers? Is X3-1 viable for top 8? Those are the kind of questions. You don't want to draw here, though. Both players are better served trying to play it out to a natural conclusion. There's 3 match points for a win and 2 total match points between the 2 players for a draw. Both players are incentivized to play fast.
Atlanta War Waste is where Jessup will start. For Ross, he'll play a Temple of Plenty. Game number 3 underway here in round 8. Leave that card on top. Pass the turn back over to Jessup. Jessup with an Urborg. And now a Seder Wayfinder. 1 is Hero's Downfall, 2 is Forest, 3 is Sandsep Citadel, and number 4 is Opson Charm. The Citadel is the weapon of choice here for Jessup. I'm going to pass the turn back over to the boss. The boss will take a draw. It's a Temple of Plenty. He'll play a Windswept Teeth, sacrifice that, get a basic Plains perhaps. He'll consult the grip here. Looks like he's going to go with a Forest. And perhaps a Caryatid on the way. That'll be a Fleeceman Lion instead. Gonna get a little aggressive, Will Ross. So we head back over to Jessup, draws basic planes for the turn. There's a self-inflicted wound. Good answer to the Fleeceman Lion. And now an attack for 1. Probably finish things up with that Sandstep Citadel. And pass the turn back over to Ross. Yavimaya goes to draw here for the boss. Now here's Death Miss Raptor. Jessup will untap and take a draw. We'll see what his 4th turn yields. Did draw a copy of Corsair Crewfix. Not a bad time to find that. Temple will allow Jessup to take a look at the top card. Now here's Nobzon Charm to exile that Death Miss Raptor. Attack for 1, pass the turn back.
If Nobzon Charm wasn't good enough, the popularity of Death Miss Raptor puts that card over the top.
That's a 4 of. That's
so good to get back
of.
with Den Protector. So good in opposing Den Protector Death Miss Raptor matchups.
Yeah. Temple's going to leave the top card on top. The boss will play a Morph, pass the turn back. Could be Den Protector. Could be Death Miss Raptor, honestly. Jessup drew a card for the turn. Looked like it was a copy of Den Protector for him. Here's 3 mana. He'll play a Corsair. Take a look at that top card. It's a Death Miss Raptor. Only 1 land in hand right now for Jessup. Looks to be a basic plains.
See the Wayfinder in hand as well.
Yep.
Nice to put that Raptor in the graveyard if he wants to. Den Protector already in hand.
And he's going to take the opportunity to do that. So there is a Satyr Wayfinder. There goes a Raptor. They get 2 Raptors, a Den Protector, and a Satyr Wayfinder. On top of the deck, he has a land. That'll be the draw for next turn.
That looks like a miss. It is not.
Not even close to a miss.
Death Miss Raptor, 2 Death Miss Raptors on that reveal definitely counts as a hit.
See what Ross can do here. Yavimaya Coast in hand. Land not going to be an issue this turn. Also, it's a copy of Flooded Strand. Looks like he's going to start by unmorphing Den Protector. That'll get back a Fleeceman Lion. Here comes the attack. No good blocks to be had here, of course, due to the text on Den Protector. There's Fleeceman Lion. Here's Flooded Strand from Ross. Pass the turn back over to Jessup. Lattimore waits to be the draw here for Danny. We're all tied up as far as life totals are concerned. No, apparently Danny is actually at 16. Well, it looks like Danny's ahead so far this game.
Yep.
And Wingmate Rock is not a bad card to reveal.
Not bad to pair with all those Death Miss Raptors that are about to be coming back.
Indeed. Murderous Cut in Jessup's hand as well right now. That one could be nice.
With Wingmate Rock on top of the deck, there's an incentive here for Danny to get pretty aggressive. He can just take care of Fleeceman Lion, have enough mana left over to play Den Protector face down, and get back whatever he wants to. Attack for 4 this turn.
You don't got to sell me on getting aggressive, man.
I don't mind dialing it up with Wingmate Rock on top of the deck.
You don't got to sell me one bit.
Curves out perfectly. He even has the requisite graveyard here to get back Murderous Cut and cast it again on the cheap.
Ross going to sacrifice his Flooded Strand. Look at a basic plains.
I think if I had Murderous Cut in hand, I'm dialing it up. Attacking for 4 that turn. Getting back the Raptors.
Yep. Kill your Fleeceman Lion, get back the Raptors with the Unmorph, get back my Murderous Cut. I've got Wingmate Rock on top of my deck. I'm feeling pretty good about things.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too.
I'm going to turn up the heat.
Yeah, I do.
And Jessup's going to play a little more cautious. Here's an Elvish Mystic. The boss will pass the turn back with a lot of mana available. Jessup gonna unmorph. There's Den Protector. Here come the Raptors. And maybe Nobzon Charm will be the target. Actually, it might be Den Protector. Looks like it will be Den Protector. Ross gonna go monstrous, or he was gonna try to.
And that was the payoff for the way that Danny played it.
Yep.
Was he got to trap Tom Tom was thinking, okay, he's probably going to morph the Den Protector in a turn. I'm going to be able to maybe my Fleece Main Lion Monstrous in response, and then I'm going to get him with Murderous Cut.
One-Sweat Teeth on top of the deck. Jessup did go up to 17, played a basic Plains off the top of the deck from the Courser. But that Murderous Cut to take care of the Fleece Main Lion was a backbreaker. Now Danny gets to keep coming on into the red zone here. Might be comfortable attacking with everything, and those Wayfinders, yeah, get him out there.
Yeah. He wants to put a Den Protector in front of a Wayfinder, that's fine.
Yeah. Ross very far behind this game now. And Jessup's hand is a real doozy.
And it's really just been about Seder Wayfinder. Danny's had some very good reveals in these games, and Tom has been behind in most of the Den Protector, Deathmiss Raptor sort of battles, just because Danny's milled himself over and been fortunate enough to find some Deathmiss Raptors.
At one point in time, many people considered Seder Wayfinder to be the best card in Standard. It's a weird card to call the best card in Standard when, you know, cards like Dragon Roach Tie, Deathmiss Raptor, Den Protector, and so many powerful cards exist, but it's kind of what gets all these decks going.
It's usually, in the history of Constructed Magic, it's been more about the innocuous pieces of value being the best cards rather than the most splashy cards.
Yeah, the payoff cards, as it were.
Right.
Because you can really win with anything.
Yep.
But it's how do you get to that point? And Seder Wayfinder has done a beautiful job of getting Jessup to this point. Here's Wingmate Rock. Raid has been met, token on the way. Ross will draw a card. I think it'll be his last draw of this particular match. He is very far behind here. See Den Protector and Glare of Heresy in hand. Those cards are very powerful, but I'm not sure there's enough time for Tom to cast them all. He'll use Glare of Heresy on the Wingmate Rock right now. There's a Fleece Main Lion. Here's the face of Den Protector. Pass the turn back.
And this is just lethal. There's a 3-power flyer, and that'll do it.
Yeah, it looks like he's dead on the board. Danny will take a look and survey things very quickly just to make sure that's the case. You can block like this. Everybody's going to come in, and that is going to do it. Danny Jessup going to win this match here over Tom Ross. 2-1. Abzan Megamorph going to take care of Bant Megamorph. And for Danny Jessup, he was already locked for day 2, but now he's looking to move into day 2 with a very good record.
Yeah, and you saw kind of a weird mix-up of roles there in that matchup where the game that Tom won was where he was able to generate way too much value and power over a long game. Usually that's where Abzan is best, but an unchecked match you don't see in a lot.